Welcome, in front of me is a Poco F3, and today I will show you how to go through the setup process of this phone. And when you boot it up for the first time, you will see this screen right over here, so start off by tapping on an arrow and selecting your desired language from the list. Then choose your region, assuming it is not correctly set. For me it is, so I'm gonna stick with the one and go to the next page where I get to choose my keyboard. Now, for the vast majority of us, Gboard will be probably the go-to choice, but you also have the TalkBack Braille keyboard as an option if you choose to select that as well. So let's go to the next page where we have the most amazing greeting to the new device, which is terms and conditions. So obviously we can read the user agreement, all that stuff by tapping on each one of them, but let's be honest, probably the majority of us don't do that, and all we need to really do is select this that we have read, obviously, carefully read it and agreed to it, so we can finish up the setup. Now next page, it will give us the scan for the SIM card. Now for me, obviously didn't find any because there is no SIM card inserted. Now the reason why it searches for it, I believe, is for the mobile network. So you can choose to either connect to Wi-Fi or, well, internet using a SIM, or using, on the next page, Wi-Fi, or you can just skip both of them if you don't want to. Now by skipping connecting to any kind of network, you will lose the ability to log into your Google account, and date and time sometimes aren't set correctly, so you would need to probably fix that as well. So I'm gonna select skip. Now also mention while I'm skipping this, and that later on, after the setup is complete, you can simply go into the settings, connect to Wi-Fi, and log into your Google account if you wish to. So here we have Google services, and those services are location, scanning, and sending user and diagnostic data. So I can read exactly what these do, and if you don't like them, I can disable them, but giving a brief overview so you're aware of what they do. Location, basically GPS tracking, used by things like Google Maps for an accurate route to your destination if you're using it as a navigation. They have scanning, allows apps to scan for things like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth devices and signals like that. And then below that, sending user and diagnostic data, obviously gathers data on how you use the device and sends it to Google. So if you don't like them, you can disable them, go to the next page. And here we have the option to set some kind of protection to our device. So we have an option between fingerprint and screen lock, or both. Now, if you choose to go with a fingerprint, you are still required to set up some kind of other way of unlocking the device through a screen lock. But if you go with only a screen lock, you don't need a fingerprint. Or you can just skip both of them if you wish to. Now I'm gonna set up pattern right here, so I'm gonna select pattern. Now it does give me a brief message that I need to remember my password. So obviously, let's select I got it, and let's draw our pattern. Redraw the same pattern once more, and this will confirm it. Now on this page we have some more annoying little things from Android, so additional settings. I'm not exactly sure if this is from Android, to be honest, but we have location, which we already did set up before, and Google services. So I did disable it, but it didn't really matter there. So next thing we have sending diagnostic data automatically. So here just completely decides to forget about the option of disabling the gathering of it and go straight up to send it automatically. Then automatic system updates, and this is the only thing that I would consider to be useful right here. It will automatically update your device and install that update overnight. So if you don't want it, you can disable it. If you do, keep it on. Then one of the most obnoxious, annoying, and intrusive things overall existing on Android, which is the personalized ads. And also, like, look at this, if you try to disable this, it brings up this window, and no other option does that, only this one. So it basically wants you, well, doesn't really want you to be disabled, but what this does, this option, it basically gathers data on what you search for. It basically constantly spies on you, whatever you search for, talk about, whatever, stuff like that. It will gather data and then give you those ads that are associated with what you've been searching for. Personally, I just consider this to be way too intrusive, so I would like to disable this. And lastly, we have a user experience programs, so help us improve your product. Basically, same thing as Google had it, so I'm just going to disable this as I did before. And let's go to the next page, which is basically the end of the setup. So let's click on the arrow and finish it up. And as you can see, the setup is now finished. So if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.